Imagine this. You swipe right on a dating app, feel that rush of attraction, or suddenly get jealous when your partner laughs too long at someone else's joke. Why do we desire what we desire? Why do men and women so often want different things? And why does love feel both magical and maddening? For decades, psychologist David M. Buss asked these exact questions, not with poetry, but with hard science. His groundbreaking 1994 book, The Evolution of Desire: Strategies of Human Mating, is a comprehensive map of romance. Based on a study of over 10,000 people across 37 cultures, Buss built a unified theory of human desire. Today, we break it down. David Buss didn't start with romantic myths. He started with Darwin's theory of sexual selection. The idea that we evolve traits that help us win mates and pass on genes beyond just surviving. In the 1980s, psychology mostly ignored evolution in love and sex. Buss and his team flipped the script. They asked people worldwide, what do you want in a partner? What makes you jealous? How do you attract others? The results were consistent across cultures and decades. This proved mating behaviors aren't just modern culture. They're ancient psychological adaptations shaped by the brutal math of reproductive success in our ancestral past. Buss showed that humans don't have one single strategy. We have a flexible menu of mating behaviors. And some items on that menu differ sharply between men and women. Let's look at those differences. Let's start with women. Everywhere Buss looked, women prioritize mates who can provide resources and protection. Why? Because pregnancy and child rearing demanded enormous investment throughout evolutionary history. A woman's best strategy was a partner with status and intelligence, someone who would stick around. Love and mutual emotional commitment became universal signals of that long-term investment. Now men, on average, men prioritize youth and physical attractiveness, clear cues to fertility. Why? Because a man's reproductive success was limited mainly by access to fertile partners, not the cost of each child. Men also evolved a stronger desire for sexual variety and shorter-term encounters based on this logic. These aren't absolute rules for everyone, but the patterns are statistically robust and predicted by evolution. Buss also found striking similarities. Both sexes worldwide want kindness, intelligence, and dependability. Love itself turns out to be a universal human emotion, not a Western invention or a social construct. Buss revealed that we all switch between long-term and short-term mating modes depending on context. Men, on average, lower their standards more dramatically for casual sex and show a stronger preference for novelty. Women become somewhat more open to short-term mating when the man displays immediate resources or high genetic quality. Attraction tactics? Both sexes display what the other wants. Men show resources, women emphasize beauty. We also derogate rivals, trash-talking competitors to make ourselves look better in the mating market. And here's where things get messy. Sexual conflict is the norm. Our strategies often interfere with each other. Mate poaching, deception, and infidelity all have evolutionary logic behind them, as painful as they are. Jealousy, for example, isn't some toxic flaw. It's an evolved alarm system to protect reproductive interests. Men's jealousy spikes at sexual infidelity, the threat of unknowingly investing in someone else's child. Women's jealousy spikes more at emotional infidelity, the threat of losing resources and commitment. Buss's later updates explored modern twists, dating apps amplifying visual cues, and even the impact of pornography. He also explored the mating crisis some educated women face when high-value partners become scarce in modern markets. So what does all this cold evolutionary science mean for you in 2026? First, self-awareness is power. Knowing your own evolved desires and your partner's reduces blame and misunderstanding in your relationships. That jealousy you feel, it has a function. That preference for certain traits, it's ancient wiring, not shallowness. Second, choose consciously. Understand your own mate value realistically, neither with narcissism nor low self-esteem. Look for long-term compatibility in kindness and shared values, not just the flashiest traits you see at first. Become the kind of partner you'd want to keep. Evolution gave us the drive, but we control the effort. Third, conflict is natural, but harmony is possible. Buss ends on an optimistic note for our future. We inherited a versatile behavioral repertoire. Evolution gave us strategies, but wisdom lets us manage them. Understanding the why behind attraction or breakups helps us build stronger, more honest relationships. Finally, the biggest lesson: human mating isn't a fairy tale or a battlefield, it's a strategic game. A game played by two sexes with overlapping but sometimes clashing goals, shaped by millions of years. Accept the reality, and you gain the tools to play it better. Understanding desire is the first step. The evolution of desire doesn't tell you how to feel, it simply shows you what the evidence says. Once you see the hidden logic behind desire, love stops being quite so mysterious and becomes more navigable. If you want to understand why you chase who you chase, this book is essential reading for everyone. Thanks for watching. Which insight surprised you most? Drop a comment below and let us know. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next one.